Hello, how's it going, guys? This was really interesting, and I love this assignment. I learned a ton, and just how it's crazy how powerful the mind is. But so in this, we're looking at first the UCS, the UCR, the CS, and the CR, and that's for example if someone were to go to a hospital and they randomly just start feeling nauseous out of all of a sudden. So the UCS would be the chemotherapy, which makes you feel nauseous. The UCR is the unconditioned response, like vomiting. And then the CS is the conditioned stimulus. That's like after being paired with the UCS, and then nausea is the conditioned response. And so these four things all play a role. And that's why sometimes if you're in a situation that you don't like, you start feeling sick, or even, we talked about something I learned is there's a reason why we don't like certain foods. Is if we have had, for example, if we had a unpleasant experience before with that certain food, we're more likely to dislike it. And so our body is just kind of like a protection thing, where our body doesn't want us to be in that harmful situation that makes us feel sick. The next thing I would like to talk about is the positive and negative reinforcement. And so that's, pretty simple. Positive is adding something, negative is taking something away. Reinforcement is trying to help the, help the action, and punishment is trying to like stop it. So for example, we could think of, let me think for a second. A positive reinforcement would be adding something and helping that action grow more. So for example, if I had a son and he did it good on a school, I could go take him out for ice cream and reward him. And so that is a positive reinforcement, right? And then also there's a negative reinforcement or let's do negative punishment. How about you'd be taking an action away? So for example, if your son ran away, you would maybe say, hey, stop doing that. If you do it again, you get timeout. So that would be a negative punishment, right? And because you're trying to stop the action that they're doing. The next thing I want to talk about is shaping. So some people can't learn everything at once. So shaping is you add things slowly and gradually. And so they learn thing by thing, topic on topic. And so that's how shaping is, you want to like slowly shape someone and change them. The classic conditioning, this is really interesting, really cool. So I think about the dog where he rings the bell, and every time that bell rings, he gets food. And then he'll ring the bell, there's no food, and his mouth's like all watery and ready for food. And we even see that in the office, where Dwight, gives a mint every time. And that's, that's really interesting. The next thing is the operant conditioning reward system, which is used in everyday circumstances. We need that basically. Like we need to have people saying, hey, good job. Thanks for doing that. So it's basically just saying, good job or bad job. We need to have like a grade basically. We need people to grade us. And the last thing is the observational learning or latent learning. And that's super interesting, and I think it's super cool. And so they talk about how we can learn by mirroring an object. And we even have an adult like beating up a doll, and then the kids would do it later. And the next other example of that is latent learning, is where you learn later. So for example, if you're driving your son to school every day, he'll pick up on that. And when motivation comes, he can do that same thing without even knowing he could do that. so he could direct himself to school alone. But anyways, this was a super cool thing we learned about, and I really loved it. And yeah, so thanks.